What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Noname back at again with another Giants update video. This one I'm going to talk real quick about the padded practice that the Giants held last night, or was it last evening? I think it ended around like maybe 7 o'clock or something like that. But the Giants held their second padded practice last night. I want to talk about that a little bit, and the fact that right off the bat, every single tweet that I retweeted last night, I'm looking at them now, it's like 15 hours ago. Like, as soon as I saw the tweets coming up, I was just like, alright, I know I'm not going to get a video up. At the time, I was like, I know I'm not going to get a video up tonight. Might as well retweet everything that I can. Every single reporter came out with their tweets like at the same time. The thing that you can gather is that it was a very, very physical, very hard practice, basically a war out there on the field. And one thing I gotta say is this is what I asked for. If you guys remember in my pre-training camp, not pre-training camp, but pre-padded practice video that I put out on Monday, I was like, alright, the one thing I'm looking for, or one of the things that I'm looking for, is something similar to that Hernandez versus Snacks Harrison matchup that we had in the 2018 training camp, where Hernandez and Snacks, they started going at it, like really going at it in practice. It eventually ended up in a little bit of a spat, a little bit of a fight. Snacks rolled his leg, like that's how physical it got. Now obviously I said I don't want injuries, but I want that type of fire, and it seems like we got that and then some from this practice here tonight. So I'm just going to read out a couple tweets, give my thoughts, and then also try to emphasize the fact that this was physical, but it was also very much a teaching type of experience. So the first one here, Rob Vacchiano, rookie left tackle Andrew Thomas was worked over pretty good in one-on-one drills by Lorenzo, Carter, Marcus Golden, Kyler Fackrell, and Leonard Williams. They seem to enjoy taking the first round pick to school too. Now listen, bro. The only name on there that I'm looking at, surprisingly, not Andrew Thomas, because we expect this from him. We expect Andrew Thomas to have his ups and downs as a rookie left tackle. It's just going to happen. The person I didn't expect to be on here, and that I'm very happy to see, is Lorenzo Carter. Because later on in one of the other tweets, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to that, because I already addressed the situation here, but another tweet said that Lorenzo Carter basically bull rushed Andrew Thomas to the ground and got through him. We've never seen this from Carter before. Carter's always been a speed rusher. He's always been a guy that uses agility and his raw talent to get to the quarterback, and it just seemed like after 2018, he just continued to rely on that talent, but teams figured him out. He didn't really evolve as a player, which you could extend to basically any player on the Giants in 2019. You could even extend it to a Will Hernandez, who just seemed to rely on his raw talent instead of anything else. Because once again, the 2019 coaching staff, they were not what this new coaching staff is, and that is teachers. They did not teach their players anything that much. They did not focus on fundamentals that much, and they didn't focus on the physicality of the game that much. I don't know what they focused on, but I can tell you it wasn't either of those three things that I just said, or two things that I just said. I expect both of these guys, Lorenzo Carter and Will Hernandez, Hernandez more so, but I definitely expect Carter to improve as well. I definitely expect with this new type of teaching, with them actually learning, technique more, with them actually learning fundamentals and these heavy physical practices to improve vastly. Now, I said in my Lorenzo Carter, breakout year video type thing that if there's any year that he's going to have, a sack year for the Giants, it will be this one. But I also kind of expect him to be used all over the field because Kevin Scherer, his linebacker coach from college, is the inside linebackers coach, and in 4-3 sets, I very much wouldn't be surprised if Carter was out there as an outside linebacker in a 4-3 set in some coverage, because he does have that skill to him as well. But we shall see. But this is a good sign, man. This is a good sign. I feel like a lot of people are counting on Lorenzo Carter, and they shouldn't be. The fact that he got the drop on Andrew Thomas. Now, like I said, Thomas is a rookie left tackle. We should expect that. But it's not easy it doesn't mean it's easy to get the drop on Thomas. The other guys on this list are very experienced guys in Golden, Fackrell, and Williams. So that was nice to hear. Then another one says, scary sight during practice. Cornerback Corey Ballentine was motionless for a few minutes after a head-on collision with wide receiver Austin Mack. Card came out, but Ballentine wound up being okay and actually finished the practice. Trainers appear to be checking his right shoulder. So, and the tweet before this that Duggan had, he said an injury happened during the most physical drill I've seen in 5 NFL camps. Defensive players line up on the goal line, offensive players a few yards away. Offensive player picked up the ball and they met at the goal line. So I'm not sure if these tweets were kind of in tandem and he tweeted one after the other, but the only injury scare that we had was Corey Ballentine, who managed to come back. But then later on in another tweet, that I'll probably find somewhere here was from Patricia Trainer, where she said Judge said he had no update on Cody Core, who left practice. So I'm not sure if the injury happened tweet from Dan Duggan is referring to Corey Core or if it's referring to Corey Ballentine. Either way, there were 2 injury scares. One of them is really scary in the fact that Core didn't return to practice, and the other one in Ballentine that he did. Either way, it's glad to see that there were no official injuries. There's no type of report out yet on that. I want to say that, I hope Corey Ballentine is okay. It was a head-on collision. I hope his shoulder is okay, because since training camp started, he sort of, rose up the ranks in terms of who might get that second cornerback spot. He's been doing really good. You've been hearing really good things about him. Another cornerback you've been hearing really good things on is Darnay Holmes, who I think also had a really good practice this night. And then also Xavier McKinney, not cornerback but a safety, who managed to snag the only interception of the day today as well. That would have been a pick 6 in any type of real-time situation. Next up is basically like 3 tweets in a row that kind of say the same thing. One by Jordan Rand talking about the physicality and Corey Ballentine, but he also mentioned that the intense practice finished with 2 sprints. Paul Schwartz saying that the penalty wraps were run by Wayne Gallman and Cam Brown. Brown got cussed out by outside linebacker coach Brett Bielema as he jogged around the field. And then Dan Duggan along that said rookie Cam Brown was the first player sent to 2 laps. Outside linebacker coach Brett Bielema, who was probably loudest on the coaching staff, was not happy with Brown. And then there was another tweet somewhere that said that even though the laps were something he suffered, the tongue lashing probably hurt the most. So now I'm wondering, what in the world did Cam Brown do? Because, we've seen before, we've seen the players taking their laps. We've seen the players, basically doing this physical, mistake correction type of thing in the last practice and in fact in practices before. But Cam Brown really needs to piss off Brett Bielema to get cussed out, man. I'm thinking this man was either lazy, he either did something completely wrong, he did something wrong on purpose. He was like speaking back up, talking back or something. I don't know. But it had to be something kind of extreme for him to be cussed out by the coach. And the reason I say this is because they are very much teaching these guys, man. I looked at the video up on the Giants YouTube channel. They're focusing on the defensive backs, like another practice highlight, and that they specifically focus on the defensive backs. And you can see that these coaches aren't just out there saying, all right guys, do this drill and I'm here going to be watching, and if you do it wrong I'll let you know afterwards or something like that. Now these guys are actively teaching. For example, defensive back coach Jerome Henderson, he's in there with James Bradbury, with Corey Ballentine, Darnay Holmes, and these guys. He's in there doing the practices with them and showing them how to do it correctly, and then also taking the time to step aside, have them in a circle and teach them. He has their attention. He's very much explaining as much as he can versus just being, like, all right, do it, you get it wrong, we'll go look at it in film. He's trying to correct it on the field right then and there. And even with James Bradbury, who got he messed up on a drill and whatnot, Henderson was just like, all right, don't go back to the back of the line, stay right here, get it until you get it correctly. So Cam Brown had to have been doing something bad, but I just want to say the teaching aspect is something I'm very much happy to see. It's something different that wasn't there the past couple of seasons. Then this was a tweet from the Giants Insider and Newspaper Podcast. We already covered the other things on there. The last point though, Lemeiux and RJ McIntosh exchanging punches. Lemeiux is a nasty dude. RJ McIntosh, I told y'all. Now we all know Lemeiux is nasty. I've been saying this since the guy was drafted, since his first interview as a New York Giant. He said the thing he loves the most about being an offensive lineman, pushing the other guy to the ground, imposing his will on them, and making them move where he wants them to. Lemeiux has always been sort of that alpha dude who loves to just push people around. We knew this. RJ McIntosh, on the other hand, not a lot of Giants fans know what he got in him. In fact, when we signed Dalen Mack, that same day that I did, where I said I want to see Will Hernandez, Snacks Harrison type of thing, this is literally that. It's Shane Lemieux, RJ McIntosh type of thing though. But RJ is definitely very underrated, and I feel like he could be used a bit better in this scheme, in this team this year. I'm not saying he's going to be a star or anything, no, not that, but he's definitely a great backup and rotational player. I think has a bit more to offer to the Giants than we realize, and to see this mentality from him is definitely something I'm very happy to see. And the last 2 tweets I got here are from Madeline Burke. First one says, Joe Judge says it's important to teach the physicality and safety, teach collisions. Says the drill he uses to reinforce his technique. If we're thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming here to hug us, we're sadly mistaken. I agree with him. I mean, I'm pretty sure You could say that for every single team we're facing in the 16 weeks of the NFL season, but definitely the focus here is on Pittsburgh because that's week 1 and they have one of the best defensive lines in the game. They're going to need to get physical to try and simulate as close as possible as to what's Pittsburgh going to come after us with, so I agree with that. And then Madelinberg tweeted, Joe Judge talks about the simple expectations of these Giants players to do their job, to put their team first. It's not easy to play in this league, but it's simple. And of course we know what he's referring to there: technique, fundamentals, get your footwork right, get the basics down, and you'll be set for success. So that's what I got for y'all today. Let me know what you all think. Covered a couple of these tweets. I was definitely happy with what I heard about this practice. As physical as it was most definitely something to be, a teaching experience for these guys to learn a bit more. As I'm in editing, I'll probably throw up other couple of tweets, here and there that I really didn't get to address that much. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.